Hello, welcome back to another game of Arena, and actually another set of 3 games between Dench and Dobbs. Should be interesting. Both players on 2k plus 2k1 plus actually for Dench here. And an interesting Civ matchup. Incas against Teutons. And I'm not sure. Incas and Teutons both are pretty decent on Arena. Teutons probably one of the most interesting Civs because it's kind of underrated, but it's hard to counter. And there's a lot of civilizations that struggle against Teutons. Then again, Incas, for me, pretty much unpredictable. You can go for a trash here, of course. Against Teutons, maybe not the best idea ever, because Teutons have a decent trash as well. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here, what Dench is going to do, how Dobbs is going to play this. Dench, Incas, Dobbs, Teutons. Let's go for the maps quickly. Deer outside for both players, actually. Yeah, Dobbs also has to lure the deer from outside. And Dench doesn't have a wood line here on this side of his base, which is not a really good sign here. Actually, it's not bugged because he has a wood line on the other side, and that's pretty fine, but if there is almost no woodline or no woodline, I would consider map bugged. And yeah, it's only 1v1s, random civilizations, obviously, not tournament, but still, it's not too nice to have. Let's see how Dench is going to play this with the main stone forward, second gold and second stone outside. Could wall this off if we really needed to. Doubt we're going to see this, maybe later on. Extra gold close to his base, actually, and I guess that's his third gold, which is pretty far forward. The main gold on the side here, but not really safe in the back, but instead relatively forward as well. And that means the resource placement for Dench not too nice. Both players up to feudal age. One really close to his base, this one close, and this one between the two players. Someone in the neutral zone. We have extra berries, but that doesn't really matter, does it? And now Dobbs with the second gold safe in the back, main gold and second stone safe in the back. So his map is actually a little bit better. Main stone forward, he's getting 10 stone to probably fix the walls here. He's got palisade walls, but he is probably going to stone wall behind that. No, even on that. And what else do we have? Third gold outside, but close to space. This relic, I guess, closer to Dobbs, at least somewhat, but it's more or less in the neutral zone. This one is closer to him. He had deer outside, but the boars were inside, I think. And now both players on the way to Castle Age, almost at the same time, 1452, 1455. But one difference in population. Did any player delume? No, it looks like Dobbs is a little bit behind. That's not too nice for him, but it's not a big problem, I guess. A few houses on those walls coming up. What's the plan here? Barracks up for Dench. So let's see. Eagle Scouts on the way and a monastery on those walls. Looks like Dench wants to go aggressive here with the Eagle Scouts patrolling the map, going for map control. And he should be able to stop Dobbs from taking a lot of relics. Dobbs got a scout alive, so he can try to fight this. And the monastery is up. First monk on the way. A few villagers, 7 actually on the main gold. Are we going to see extra TCs from Dench anytime soon? Apparently not, or not yet. And yeah, Dobbs obviously can see the monastery now and has the scout around. Needs to run away though. Second TC up for him on the wood line. That's quite close to the walls here. Not sure about this one. Maybe a little bit more on that spot of the lumber camp. And another TC on the wood line here. I would have preferred it to see right here on that second gold. Dobbs has scouted this, but he preferred to go on the wood alone and not have to go close. Not sure why. Would have been better TCs, but in my opinion, now Dench is taking his time to get the relics in, and he should be able to get all 5 of them because Dobbs doesn't even have a monastery yet. Instead, he's concentrating on the boom. He's 8 villages ahead, doing wheelbarrow also. There's a good amount of farms, which is easy as Teutons, and he's on stone, 5 villages, which is interesting to me. Does he want to go for more TCs, or is it going to be a castle? And maybe you're going to see Teutonic Knights here. Incas, pretty much an infantry civilization. They have slingers, of course, but slingers die horribly to onagers or siege onagers usually. So maybe Teutonic Knights is an idea here. Palisade wall coming up. I guess he's fearing the siege tower hub. Does Dench have a siege workshop? No, he doesn't. Instead, second TC up and running, third TC on the woodline and the main gold also running. That means he's not going to go too aggressive here. Was going for the map control. Now the siege workshop is coming up forward. He needs to do this. He needs to put pressure on Dobbs, who is ahead in the boom. And you can see 11 villager difference, 11, 12. Handcart coming in while Dench only doing wheelbarrow. And a battering ram is up. No siege tower. I guess the ram is the safer choice here. A siege tower can be useful if you're getting surprised, but that's not what's going to happen with Dobbs here. And Dobbs is actually starting to wall off completely. You can see the ram. Now he's got a mangonel soon to be ready, and and to, I guess, try and attack that ram. In that ram we have 4 Eagle Scouts, no Eagle Warriors, but I guess it's enough here. And we do see that castle now coming up from Dobbs with the mangonel staying behind that castle. Are these falls going to get finished here? Ooh, no, villager is getting converted and has to run back. That castle needs to go up, otherwise Dobbs is in real trouble. Nice mangonel shots from Dench here. A few villagers dying, that's not really a doubt castle, but maybe a little bit. And one of those villagers actually get converted but dies. And that ram, of course, is going to go down as well. There is still the Eagle Warriors, Eagle Scouts inside. They could try and snipe a villager, but she survived. Now Dench has to fix his economy. Dobbs has to fix his economy, while Dench is on the way to Imperial Age. And this is interesting. Does he have stone for a castle? No. Then it's going to be hard to get through that castle at the entrance of Dobbs' base. It's a really nice castle from replacement. Another siege workshop coming up. Chainmail armor, Sanctity, Heavy Plow, Imperial Age is coming. And the barracks here from Dobbs, who is apparently going for standard infantry. A little bit of a questionable choice in my opinion, but maybe it's going to work out, I don't know. He still has save stone, so he could go for the Teutonic Knights here, which is not happening. Rams probably going to get created by Dench, more and more of them, and as he doesn't have the stone for a castle, he will need to rely on capped and siege rams, and he should have the economy to get siege rams. Get a lot of gold in the bag to get the Eagle Scouts, Eagle Warriors, Elite Eagle Warriors out. Is he going for the Eagle Warrior upgrade? No. Cap Ram, block printing. No Eagle upgrade yet. What's the plan here? Maybe Slingers later on. Another Monastery, but Eagle Warrior upgrade finally coming in. Could have done that earlier. Could have done it while imping, but he didn't. And now we have Long Swordsman upgrade for Dobbs here, who is on 94 villages, but Dench 91. That attack against the castle really helped Dench out a lot, and you can see he is in the score lead by far. Imperial Age soon to be done by Dobbs as well. What's the plan for him? Are we going to see Onager upgrade here? Or is it going to be standard infantry only for now? Long Swordsman on the way. Getting created. And I guess 200 Swordsmen gonna come in soon. Now that's 5, 6, 7 capped rams. Town Watch coming up. Not enough food for siege ram yet, but soon. 700, only missing 300. Those houses in the walls will go down really quick. There's a trebuchet up, 2 mangonels to defend here. But I think Redemption, yes, on the way. Not done, but on the way. These mangonels could get converted soon. And look at this, that's just beautiful. The Rams taking down the walls here, trying to attack, going for the full push in early Imperial Age. And a lot of long swords waiting, 200 swordsmen on the way. No Onager upgrade. Dobbs cannot afford this. He's gonna have stone for a castle, for another one here actually. Should maybe put it right here on the main stone to make sure those Rams and the Eagle Warriors cannot go too far. Or maybe put it safe in the back to protect the gold. Ooh, Dobbs needed to quick wall here, but he didn't. And is this actually walled? Can the Eagle Warriors go in? The Eagle Warriors are in. Elite Eagle Warrior on the way. And now Dobbs may be in trouble, or at least his villagers on the wood and gold need to run back. There's going to be a lot of idols here. Dobbs has more military units, but the 200 swordsmen are slower. And it's not gonna be easy. Actually, the other castle is up on the outside protecting that gold. I like this. It's looking good. And looks like Dench is gonna lose most of his Eagle Warriors. But Dobbs is on 82 villagers only. So that first raid was quite successful. The thing is, 50 against 11 military units. That's a problem for Dench now. Crop rotation, conscription coming in. He needs to switch. He needs to switch fast. Slingers production starting. But I think he needed to start as early as he went in. And yeah, only small numbers of slingers here. And the mangonels can actually do decent damage on those. So that whole fort that Dench built is maybe falling soon. Arson coming in, 2-man saw, very important economy upgrade as well if you have it. Thundering Boatkin Arrow to make these slingers stronger, but Dench is still on only 9 military units, and Dobbs is going for the counter-attack now, and he should push as fast as he can, because he's not ahead in economy, but with that push going and Dench under constant pressure, he might be able to turn the game around completely. But fast Blast Runners coming in, no champion upgrade yet. Are we going to see Kameyuks? That would be so awesome. I'm not sure how good Kameyuks do against Teutons in mass fights. That might be interesting. Of course, Elite Teutonic Knights are stronger, but yeah, I don't know. We're going to see Onager upgrade now from Dobbs, who is taking full map control, doesn't have relics, but he's got 3 castles of his own, so he could go for Teutonic Knights if he wanted to, but Onager and Champions will do the trick here for now. A lot of archery is coming up, because the rest is just getting destroyed here. Trebuchet moving forward, a few villages on the outside, maybe go for a forward later on, and the Slinger production is still going. Dench has a lot of resources in the bank, not so much gold though. Stone mining only now coming in, and that monastery with the 5 relics might fall. Monk converting an Onager, nice, but ooh, good shot on those 200 swordsmen. Look at this. All of them, most of them injured and more than 50% down. And now the slingers moving forward, taking down the trebuchet. No, not yet. 5+3 range. That's the same as Arbalest actually. No, they are quite decent unit. And Elite Eagle Warriors, missing the attack upgrade, but they are really good as well. For +4, couldn't you go for +6? Yeah, Chris on the way for Dench, very important to see that. And finally the champion upgrade for Dobbs. Dobbs is low on resources, but he's spending a lot, makes sense. And not so much food for Dench. He's got enough stone for another castle, and he's got a lot of wood in the bank. But Dobbs has map control here. Siege Ram finally coming in for Dench, a little bit late. And Dobbs is taking the extra gold on the map as well. Can Dobbs actually see that gold and stone on the side? He can, so he should raid this, but he's instead concentrating on the middle, wants to make sure that he's going to win here and not use any units to like go for some minor raidings that are not going to do so much. We have that castle getting repaired by Dench for a lot of time. He's spending a lot of stone here. Men-at-arms for him coming in, so he's switching into standard infantry as well. Looks like the slingers are not good enough here, and the onagers backing up the champions of course are good against those slingers. Inca champions I think can get fully upgraded as well, so should have all the upgrades. Couriers, not sure, I don't think it's applying to champions here. But the other upgrades, of course, are available. And let's remember, Inca villagers, +6 pierce armor, +4 melee armor. It's not easy to raid them. Not as good as Spanish villagers, of course, but still, they are strong. And yeah, that's the onager shots on the slingers that we were talking about, or we were hearing about. That's just not easy to go against. And looks like Dench doesn't have a lot of siege. He did the siege ram upgrade, and he's got 2 siege workshops forward, but he doesn't have a siege workshop at home, and he needed to go for oranges himself probably, or for faster champions, which is not going to happen too fast. Yeah, the 200 swordsman fully upgraded, but champion upgrade is missing. Dench has enough resources to click it. Is he going to do so? His resources looking really decent here. The monastery is still up, but finally Capram attacking that. Capram going down, but a decent shot with the onagers. A lot of 200 swordsmen going down, and the relics are actually dropped out here. We still have 82 military units. Didn't even see that against only 27. And Dench resources still looking good. Dobbs has a decent amount of gold. He's taking a lot. And now that forward from Dench will start to move soon, and Dobbs might get caught empty-handed at home. So I'm really don't want to miss this counter-attack. Elite Skirmisher is a desperation move for Dench here. I don't think that's a good idea, but looks like Dench is very low on gold. He's taking gold here on the side, but that forward gold, where was that? Wait, did he take this? No, he had a gold in the back, I think. It doesn't take a lot of gold at this point. He has a good amount of gold in the bank, but he's not able to get enough protection going. He doesn't have the buildings, didn't build enough, and Dobbs' attack is now rolling. At the same time, siege rams and the champions moving in. Dobbs is getting attacked. That castle will go down probably. Can Dobbs see this? I'm not sure if he can actually. Yeah, he'll finally realize this. And we are seeing some kind of base turret, but it's looking better for Dobbs here. Still got 80 military against only 50, and he's getting rid of TCs. He's stopping the farming from Dench almost completely. Dench is going for a few farms on the outside here. Dench has still decent resources, but he needs to spend more, and he's not producing from those barracks. That's a mistake here. You need more military units. Those trebuchets and onagers are actually pretty unprotected now, but you don't have the army to do so. At the same time, Dench is raiding with Elite Eagle Warriors and trying to do as much damage in Dobbs' base as possible. You can see Dobbs has the way better population, and I think Dobbs is faster taking on Dench's base than vice versa. So it looks like Dench with only 64 villagers, but Dobbs dropping to 68 as well. They have the same amount of villagers here, and Dobbs has 2k gold in the bank, not so much food. Dench has enough fresh resources, but cannot afford to build any more champions or siege units. So they both have different problems here. Dench has 20 military units left. Dobbs is fighting back. He spent his food, that's why he doesn't have any, I guess. And it looks like Dobbs is taking this game. Very strong attack in the end. Dench's initial attack wasn't strong enough, and he lost a lot of units without doing too much damage, I guess. So in the end, Teutons winning against Incas here. The champions from Dench weren't finished fast enough, and he wasn't able to master them. So Dobbs winning this game. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you in game number 2, and GG.